Hey y'all, specifically, hey Aries. We are going to do some May readings. I'm going to start with the Oracle cards, the Crow Oracle. We're going to pull a couple from this deck, and then we will clarify using tarot, and I'm not exactly sure which deck yet. This is for Aries, though. If you haven't, please watch the May reading, Taste of May. And, okay, Mimicry is on the bottom of the deck. And we've got Illusion, and we've got Anticipation. Yeah. You know, I'm not the only one saying that May is kind of, I think, the energy of the spring has been drawn out. And at the very, very beginning of spring, I was saying that this isn't going to be that super sexualized, super like Twitter pated from Bambi, super hyper, everybody's manic and in heat sort of spring. And what's happened is that the energy has been slowed down, drawn out, reframed again. And here we have a May that should be a response of certain things aligning and then events taking place. But it's going to go, it's not even 50-50. It's like, it's going to be slower, much slower in advance of that, and much slower and less of a climax than you would expect from all of these things and all of these energies and all of this stuff being set up and geared towards you. A bit anticlimactic. So some people have been saying that it's been a setup and May is going to, when it's really going to pop off. I don't really agree with that. I think it's a drawn out situation. And that's where we get the illusion for you, Aries. The anticipation and illusion. And you got things, it's like coming, oh. The kids would say it's like edging. But I'm going to say it's like coming to the end of a cliff or the top of a roller coaster, right? Coming to the top of a roller coaster, and then you don't go down at that super high speed that you're expecting. You go, and you just kind of go down. Like there's a different type of gravity once you get to the top. That's what it's like. I don't know how I can explain it any better other than what I feel, how it feels to me, what it is. Okay? All right. And this is for everybody. I got to tell you, like, I know it's probably going to be a lot, but I'm going to try to keep these short. That's why we're doing it's one of the reasons why we're doing two of the Oracle cards and then explaining those. But, watch everything that you have a connection with. So watch your sun sign, watch your moon sign, watch your Mars, your Venus, your Mercury, where your Mercury is. And then anything else that resonates. I would also venture to guess that the signs, especially closest to, let's say you're a Scorpio at November 19th, watch Sagittarius too. If you're a Gemini at May 4th, watch Taurus too. It's going to be a lot closer than you think. You know what I mean? Okay, that is my diatribe. I wish I didn't have to say that in every single freaking of the 12 readings, but I do. This isn't illusion yet either. This deck. Sorry guys. The deck's not working. The deck's not working, but we'll be there very, very shortly, as this is the correct deck. Why is illusion here? We got cards flipping out. I think there's probably a bit of let's not forget that mimicry was our bottom card. There might be a little bit of self-talk and self-delusion. So for those of you who might have imagined something to be bigger than it was, more important than it was, given some meaning to something that you might find out. This is the age of the Aquarius. So not only are we dealing with illusions that are cultural, that are coming to the surface, but we're dealing with illusions, even if they seem pretty benign, even if we have like a superstition, for example, like a knock wood superstition, and we realize in this kind of energy how silly it is. Do it anyway, right? Do it anyway. But we're kind of like, oh, well, yeah, that is silly. All right, universe, I've told these people as much as I really think I can. Let's get some clarifiers if you want. Oh, okay, that's it. We got the King of Cups on the bottom, the Chariot, the Hanged Man, and the Knight of Wands. Yeah, I think there's... Yeah, I don't think I was far off the mark when I was suggesting that maybe some of these illusions that you have are sort of expectations or stories, narratives that you've created. And whether that be for like the greater good or whether that be for your own coping, I think those are kind of coming to light. And so there's a little bit of a this is interesting because I think for some of you there's a little bit of a, well, I know that it's somewhat of an illusion, but it gets me by, so let me steam forward. And it's almost like you double down on it on purpose, even though you know that it's an illusion. You like feel the importance of it in itself. And then some of you, or maybe at the same time, some of you have also this contradictory belief that maybe you should just keep it to yourself and hold tight and see things from this new perspective and give it time. Some of you have both things happening, which is what makes it kind of hard and difficult. Aries, you're a complicated person, I know. All right, why is anticipation here? I think that if this regards to other people, these illusions, delusions, fantasies, if they are in regards to other people, it's really because you have put them there, right? So it's not that other people have delusions, it's that you have delusions about other people. You know what I mean? You're really seeing through that. And I think, if nothing else, being stripped of that cloud or that mask that you've had, maybe even for years, will allow you some type of liberation. Like, and that might be happening too, is where, oh, I can go forward with my own thing now that I see people for who they are really, right? Okay, we've got the Seven of Cups on bottom of anticipation, which is great, right? This wanting, this analysis paralysis, this having too many options, but some of them are fake gold, this type of thing is very much in the spirit of the crows themselves, being collectors. Two Cups, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Tower. Anticipation, huh? Yeah. So kind of bleeding into each other here, as the story often does. You have this potential for sort of reassessing your position on soulmates. I think in this energy, even though it's spring and a lot of us have our sort of mindset on finding someone, I think in this energy, some of you might just say, fuck that. Fuck that. Because I know we're all imperfect and I'm kind of set in my ways. And you might be single thinking, I don't need the headache of, this illusion that I had over someone else. I don't need it. I can make my 10 Pentacles all by myself. And so this Tower is a bit of it's a bit of coming into yourself. But I think on the other hand, it's a bit like realizing, like having a lot of folks who have sort of a nihilistic phase, like myself, and you realize that nothing really matters. But then you realize that exactly what you put into it is what matters. So if you think something matters, that's what matters. And because it matters to you. So yeah, nothing matters except for what we hold value in and what we weigh with that importance. So, sorry, the cat is really ripping my leg to shreds right now. So that's what we have. Let me just see if I want to pull a couple of bridging energies just to be on the safe side. Because I'm getting something a little bit over here that I can't quite put my finger on in terms of that anticipation. Remember how at the beginning I said it's okay to have those delusions. Keep those delusions if they're part of your coping mechanism. Maybe I didn't say that, but that's what I intended to say. So I think for some of you, there is sort of a delusion that maybe you need to keep hold of if it's keeping you together. What are the bridging energies for Aries? I'm just going to go ahead and take those because we've got the Six of Cups, we've got the Eight of Pentacles, and we've got the Five of Wands. Yeah. Trying not to read too much coming in from like all the other signs are swirling around, to be honest. There's a very particular channel of static, though. There's a very, very, very specific channel of static that I think some of you are in, where you are blind to these connections, and the illusion and the anticipation is not for your purpose, but for something you've misaligned, for something that is not your actual path. And you're working really hard, and the static channel is because you're working so hard and sitting in place. The reason that you're stagnant and sitting in place and in this static energy is because you are not moving towards your soul's true purpose. And so it's also, another analogy would be like absolutely spinning your wheels, like you're in a snowbank, just spinning those wheels, spinning. Yeah, you're working really, really hard. You're spinning the wheel so hard, the car is about to freaking explode because you've revved it up to the top RPMs that you possibly can, but you're not going anywhere in terms of your purpose. The car is going to end up at the shop, but you're not going anywhere. Okay, that's your reading, Aries. There's definitely a few of you with very different sort of, I mean, the energy's sort of all the same in terms of these anchor cards, the oracle cards, but there's 3 different things happening here. They are connected, of course, but, be sure to watch your other signs. Okay? All right. Thanks, guys.